Hello, I'm from the Australian Government. Are you hoping to become an Australian citizen? If so, you'll need to learn about Australian values. As the seat of government, Parliament House is the logical place to learn about Australian values. Whether it be bullying, sexual harassment, cover-ups, or simply jizzing on women's desks, we know how to set the example. Australian values. Knowing Australian values will help you fit into our society and have a job, such as Australian value number 22. Nobody in this government faces any fucking consequences for their actions. Like Angus, whose office forged documents, or Bridge, who rorted taxpayer funds, or half our ministers who covered up the rape of a staffer in Parliament House. And they all still have jobs. Australian values. Respecting Australian values allows us to get on with our shitfuckery, such as Value 52. We don't investigate our ministers' shitfuckery. Like Angus, where we got police to drop the investigation, or Bridge, where we obstructed the investigation, or Chris, who can't face an inquiry because there's no active police investigation, or half our ministers who can't face an inquiry because there is an active police investigation. There's always a good reason not to have an investigation. Australian values. Knowing Australian values will help you stay out of trouble, such as Value 31. If you see us breaking the law, shut the fuck up, because if you report on our conduct or blow the whistle on our corruption, war crimes and corporate espionage, we'll ruin you, like we're doing to these guys. Australian values. We work hard to uphold these values. That's why we've repeatedly voted against a federal ICAC. We've even voted against a code of conduct in Parliament House, because that would go against Australian value number 16. Do whatever the fuck we want in Parliament House, such as banging in the prayer room, getting trolleyed on the job, banging our staffers on the job, and making women feel afraid to report sexual assaults for fear of losing their job. Australian values. If you're ever unsure, look to our Prime Minister for leadership on Australian values, such as value number 8, show no leadership, ever. Like leaving for Hawaii when the country's on fire, leaving it to stay.
Happened. Perfect streaming after we crashed and it reconnected. Are we still live?
We have crashed. Facebook has crashed. Twitter is coming back. Hi, guys. Tell me
they were live. Well, Facebook just went live again.
Yeah.
Welcome, Beauty and the Boomer, taking off to a rough start tonight.
Oh yeah, that was
See what happens when you talk shit about the Australian government.
That wasn't even.
That was weird.
That was all red lights. It's like somebody yanked us.
Weird.
Wow. Can you guys hear us? Can you hear us?
No worries. Yeah, they can hear us.
Yeah.
We hear you. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we jumped in there. We didn't run the intro tonight. Sorry if you like our little intro anime gal, but we can just, I think we're good here right now. I got excellent connection again. What the fuck happened? Anyway. So, Australia, they're having the same kind of great things happen with their politicians. Yeah. They fly to Bahamas when there's a fire and they screw around like Cuomo. I mean, we are not unique, ladies and gentlemen. We have just as corrupt fuckers and fuckery in our government as Australia does. Isn't that good to know?
Right. And I always remember that we are not just United States centric. We have a lot of viewers from around the world that tune in. So I like us to cover other stuff than just stuff that's happening in the U.S. So yeah, I like to see how corrupt, their government's just as corrupt as ours. I think all of them are, all the industrialized countries are corrupt.
Yeah, we're not special by any means, are we, Chanda?
Oh, no, not special, but I'm special because today I have a message for you. Do not mow your lawns the first couple of weeks out in spring. Let the dandelions bloom and let the bees get their first feeding.
Yep. Joey said you can mow it once, and after that, it's dandelion time because she makes the tea, man. She makes the tea. Okay, I think we're back here. Are we okay now? Everybody says we're looking okay. Hey, what's going on? You want to give the chats a shout out?
We ain't got no warnings, but hey, these chats, you guys built so fast tonight. Yay. We were just sitting here just like, wow, look at how many people are on Rockfed.
And then we go,
Dingo. Hey, Dingo. Fred Edward. Hey, Chris Foster. You guys, thanks for joining us. Colby Waterman. Yeah, I just watched a Cappy video. Great work, team. Check out the JFK and the Unspeakable. Clears up a lot of fog around the event. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of good feedback on last night's Cappy show. I'm actually shocked.
Why are you shocked? It was a good show. I mean, you covered good
I
opinions.
just think because I'm interested in these topics that nobody else is, or that I just look like a tinfoil hat conspiracy person. But
No, I think it's great that we can switch gears, because we like to do the political analyzation on a regular basis with the dive and other shows, and this show too, of course. But we need a breather at least once a week, and what better night to do it than Saturday night? What the hell?
yeah, no,
really.
that's what's good about
You
being
need a break. You need a break.
cut loose.
Yeah, cut loose, have fun. Hey, Insight and Awareness. I haven't seen you lately. How you doing, Vic?
Hey, Vic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was reading out the chats. Hey, Josh Davis, Demontanizer live. Steve Cutler, hang in there. I got some stuff on the deck of your work tonight. Who else is it? Karen Daly. Hey, Karen.
Yeah.
Peace Dove. Of course, Jilly's
Dove.
always.
Love my peace stuff. We got Shayar over on the Natural Progressive. Salt Lakers, the Salt Laker. Monty Bai. Hey, Monty Bai.
Hey, Monty.
And we have, hey, Pat, the Batman fan. Stick around. You got
Pat.
the Outgo song tonight,
Yeah,
buddy.
Pat got closing tonight.
He got closing tonight. So we got Pat coming up at the end of the show tonight. And Oz Whistles. Hi, Oz Whistles. And let's see, who else we got over there? We got a few more folks over there.
We appreciate you guys tuning in, man. We
Yeah.
love watching these chats grow. It's awesome that we're reaching more people, and you guys are having fun hanging out with us. And Saturday nights are not dedicated to anything but just silliness and crazy stories that we've come across, and maybe rants if we're in the mood for it. It's just kind of just kick back.
Do you like my hair?
I love your hair. I love it.
I'm trying to do the thing, but the yarn doesn't twirl like regular hair does.
So does it have different colored ones? Because I think I see
Yeah, it's
a blue
got
one.
red and
Okay,
gold and all that stuff. I think
Nice.
I'm just going to make this permanent. Do you think JB Weld will make it stick to my head? I really
No,
like
please try Gorilla Glue.
Gorilla Glue. That's the thing to try these days. Yeah,
I've seen it.
I got to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna audition for the next Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I've already got half the job with the
I
hair.
like
here.
that movie.
I did too. It was a great movie. So, yeah, Brian.
Pat, that was a good movie.
Brian Allegar, Dirtbag Leftist. There's one of my favorite names. Yeah, we've got a Chanda. Chanda built another beautiful show because Oz has been screwing off and visiting with his brother and getting over dental work and feeling.
That's okay. I want Oz to have time to visit with his brother.
Poo. So and you do wear Jennifer Gray's body well, as I do Patrick Swayze's body there. I think,
I look more like her original face than she does.
Yeah, I like Patrick's skin tones there with mine. That's how I used to sunbathe a
I
lot
thought
then.
you'd be sold on the hair. I mean, look at the hair.
It's always
Look
the
at it.
hair.
Yeah,
it's
he
always the
swings
hair. It's always the damn
always
hair.
the hair. I know.
Always the damn hair. Fair use. Marilyn's here with the fair use then. And of course, Dumber there with the fair use. Let me clear fair use so we can see that. Not that it makes any difference anymore, does it?
I don't think it matters.
You want to
They
give
might
it?
come and
Are
get
you doing
to
a
come and get
report
you.
on this, or what you said in the green room, or is this just you want to tell everybody what's going on with the?
Oh no, we got censorship. The next 4 slides we're talking about censorship.
All right, and we've got somebody bit my pants off there. What the hell is this?
No, look at it closer.
Try and blame.
She's trying to blame that on the dog.
Oh my God! No frickin' way. Yeah, that would my wife would have to agree with that, unfortunately. So, shit.
See, we started out right.
Yeah,
with the giggle.
you are twisted, Shane.
I know, and that's what you love about this show.
That's great. So you've got some Kyle here. What's he going to talk to us about?
Yeah, I haven't been bringing a lot of Kyle, but I'm so over the don't watch that person, don't watch this person, that person's an ill-lib, that person's not an ill-lib.
Yeah.
I agree with what he's saying. You watch Kyle if you want to watch Kyle. Don't watch Kyle if you don't want to watch Kyle.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, Vic, Chris Hedges is one of our favorites too.
Ooh,
so.
Chris is my all-time favorite.
Yeah, Chris gets it done, and I'm partial to Matt Taibbi as well. So
Yeah, me too.
yeah. So okay, let's pull the lever on Kyle and listen to. I think I know what he's going to say.
So this information is really, really mind-blowing, but I definitely have to share it with you because this is something that I've been staring at in amazement behind the scenes recently. So Jackson Hinkle, who's also a lefty YouTuber, everybody check him out, he put together a list here of exactly what's happening behind the scenes with independent media. So he says, YouTube is silencing independent left creators by shoving us down in the algorithm. Don't believe me? Check out how much our average subs have dropped in the past month. Secular Talk down 88.9%. I'm leading the pack, by the way. Convo Couch down 72.7%.
That's a shame.
The Dive with Jackson Hinkle, that's his show, down 71.4%. Let me show you the rest. Bad Faith down 69.5%. Frank Analysis down 69.3%. Soapbox down 50%. Lee Camp Show down 50%. Unapologetic down 47.4%. Jimmy Dore Show down 42.9%. Hard Lens Media down 25.8%. Redfish down 18.8%. Richard Medhurst down 17.6%. Black Agenda Report down 17.1%. And by the way, this isn't even a fully comprehensive list. Every other independent media outlet you can think of is down massively. Now,
We're not
listen,
down.
Is some of this attributable to the fact that we just had an election and
were never up.
interest in politics was peaking? It was at a high. That's absolutely true to an extent. Now, we have the experience of doing this during the last election. And so I know what drop is reasonable, what drop is attributable to people sort of naturally losing interest after an election. You can expect a drop of about 20%. Having about a 20% drop is reasonable. Because again, people just sort of tune out a little bit more to politics after an election. It makes sense. Not everybody's a hardcore political junkie and will watch every single video. You guys know this, although a lot of you who are watching this are those kinds of hardcore political junkies. But if it was about 20%, okay, it is what it is. But when you start getting 30%, 40%, 50%, 90% for this show, that, without a doubt, is not just, oh, naturally people are tuning out. No. That is the same kind of crackdown that happened a few years ago when YouTube openly admitted this. They released one of their letters where they said, oh, because of the controversies, we're going to crack down on what we call borderline content when it comes to news and politics.
What do you think of that?
I honestly, as Steve Cutler said, those numbers are inverted. They're down. The algorithm's getting everybody. Again, we were never up, so we're not down.
Right, we were never up, so we don't care. But for Kyle, what was he almost in the 90s or in the 90s?
Yeah, 90%.
I don't absolutely believe that there's less people tuning into politics. We know that the election's over. There's nothing really big. We're heading into midterms, so people do tune out. And Kyle has said a lot of shit in the last couple of months that has turned people off, including myself, to where I'm not so quick to click his videos anymore, if I've already heard the story.
Yeah, you're not canceling him. We're not canceling.
But I didn't cancel him. Well, no, I'm not canceling him at all. But I'm saying even if you added those two together, no fucking way is it 90%.
No. And Jimmy Dore, are you kidding me? Even
Jimmy 42%?
I don't think so.
I would say maybe half of that's algorithm.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it's just. The issue is they're trying to stamp down anybody that's pulling away or doing the narrative. The one that bothers us the most, of course, I think is Combo Couch. That one's 70, but that's
because they're working their asses off. We're going to talk about that later in the deck, but I really appreciate all of you who made the jump last night to Rockfin for our, Cappy show. Things we can't say here on YouTube, things that we know will have our channel ripped down, will get us demonetized, and basically screwed by them. No. So thank you everybody who is moving over to the other platforms.
And hopefully there'll be other platforms that we can move over to too. Again, Saturday night we get to cut loose and things like that. And honestly, a couple of questions came up, or somebody said, I like Kyle too. I like the fact that at least he's got something to say, and I guess I don't want to fight with my sisters and brothers who are in independent media. I'll say it again, the only two outfits that I have a problem with is Minority Resort and TYT, because they're both, corporate.
Dude, who was it that got fired or left Sam Cedar this
Jamie
week?
Peck.
Jamie Peck.
Yeah, Jamie Peck. She was over with Katie Halper the other day. I think it was Katie Halper.
Of course. We're going to talk about those neolibs that are pivoting back towards the progressives. So
and some of them are still neolibs, and they're still playing it being progressive. Is this what we got next? Yeah. We got this one next.
Oh, MSNBC wants to see us gone like whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole.
That's how they describe it.
Some pundits talking about
It's a little
they
low.
can censor social media. Let's play this first video.
Possible. I mean, the landscape of misinformation is so vast. Is it possible to actually stop the proliferation of misinformation on the internet? And what role does Facebook play at this point in time?
Are you kidding me?
There's a couple challenges. One, no one imagined what it would be like for everybody to be their own printing press. And that's essentially what people have the ability to do right now. They can make content faster than anybody could police it. The second dimension of this is no one is in agreement about what should be policed. If you went to Capitol Hill today, one political persuasion would want one thing policed, the other would say that it's free speech and vice versa, and that changes over time. It's very dynamic. A third sort of aspect of this is what is misinformation or disinformation really comes down to where you evaluate people's opinions versus the news. And that is very unclear in the social media space. Who is a journalist, who is a news producer versus who is stating their opinion. I think the last sort of thing to think about is it can be stopped or taken down much more aggressively. And that's by focusing on the most prolific offenders. Usually it is a small cadre that produces the largest volume of misinformation and disinformation. And the earlier you do it, the better, because it stems it over time. So if you want to get away from billions of views, you need to stop it very early on. And that's probably where Facebook could have done better.
Nick, I sort of wonder from a layman's perspective, and it is a blunt metaphor, but whether this is not whack-a-mole. I mean, when you hear about users being kicked off Facebook, they find another platform to organize on and spread misinformation.
Oh, shit.
If it's not Parler,
Like
it's
TV.
something else. To what degree can you stop the mushrooming of sites that will accommodate misinformation?
Well, so one thing I think to remember about Facebook is it is whack-a-mole on Facebook, but Facebook has also had mole food in its algorithm for the last 10 years. So the most important thing for Facebook to do is to remove the mole food, to make it not as profitable, to make it not as beneficial, to put outlandish material that activates the sort of hyper-partisan misinformation types of our brain. So that's part of it. The central thing that Facebook needs to do is to reckon with its algorithm and the ecosystem it created.
I want these paid clowns in an open forum in a public place. This
piss you off?
God,
Oh my
this
God, that
pisses
pissed
me off.
off.
Such
Thank you,
horseshit.
Kit and Daniel, for bringing that shit, because none of us are over there watching this crap. You know, we wouldn't even hear them talking like that if it wasn't for independent media bringing it, pointing it out to us.
Yeah, that's just absolutely horse shit. First of all, they're saying that it's automatically, misinformation. No, how about the mainstream media pushing Russiagate for 4 fucking years?
Well, and if he's comparing us to a printing press, I'd like to point out the printing press was what helped spur the first revolution in this country. Without those pirated papers and shit they were putting out, the word would have never got out.
And these fuckers with their printing press at the New York Times got us into a Iraq war. So, they're projecting what they're actually doing, these pieces of shit. You can vet any opinions we do on our shows, but there are fucking opinions. That's it. So there you go.
My opinion.
Their opinion. Now, what do we have here? We have a different dimension on this, right?
Okay, so we know that Matt and Katie, Useful Idiots podcast, left for Rolling Stone last week, and they were very tight-lipped about it, even though you could see that something had probably gone down. And they did their first new podcast, which is the same thing. You can still reach them at the same addresses, just Useful Idiots, but they kind of talked about why they left Rolling Stone.
Cool. I'm sure people are interested in this.
This is Vanguard, the Vanguard. If you guys haven't watched the Vanguard yet,
yeah, they're
up
good.
and comers.
I like them.
They're doing really good, and so I've got a couple of clips from them on the deck. So we'll talk about them.
Let's check it out. This is the first Vanguard clip we've had, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Rolling Stone.
Hello and welcome to Useful Idiots. I'm one of your hosts, Katie Halper.
And I'm the other, Matt Taibbi. How are you, Katie?
I'm good. You?
I'm doing well. A lot of people have questions about what happened and why we're no longer a Rolling Stone.
We consciously uncoupled from Rolling Stone.
Is that really true, though? I mean,
No,
I think
it's not.
we've been telling people that it was an amicable break,
yeah.
But the truth is that it was political.
It was political.
No shit.
Should I just come clean?
I think you should just admit it.
All right. So,
you cost us both our jobs. So.
I did. I cost us both of our jobs. I created this great opportunity, though, for us to come to Substack. And, a lot of people were calling me an Assadist and calling Matt by extension an Assadist. And I was pretending that, our severing with Rolling Stone, or their severing ties with us, wasn't related to Syria, but it absolutely was. Okay. Oh my God. It's such a relief to say that. So we had political differences, and I wanted to open up a studio in Damascus. I wanted Useful Idiots Damascus. Yeah, I wanted a DT, Damascus Today. They wouldn't even talk about putting into the contract.
And they wouldn't air that glowing profile / interview that you had done with Bashar al-Assad.
Bashar al-Assad, yeah. So, we basically, all right, I wanted Assad to be the third host.
Right. I thought the chemistry wasn't quite there.
It's off screen. There are a lot of fireworks. But you're right. It just doesn't translate on screen. Like when he and I are hanging out, there's a lot of chemistry and like everyone notices it. Right. But it just doesn't work on screen. So, I mean, for Matt, for you, it was a creative difference. With Rolling Stone, I think that maybe they wouldn't have gone on board even if the online chemistry had been more apparent.
Yeah.
So there you are. Yeah, they're joking about it, but you can see.
Well, MSNBS did the same thing with Phil Donahue, Charles Grodin. I mean, this is just Rolling Stones being co-opted by their handler.
I was shocked as shit when I saw they got a podcast on Rolling Stone, because I had been one of Rolling Stone's top commenters for many years, because I would call their neo-lib asses out on every article that I saw them drop, because they kept getting more and more and more fucking neo-lib. 2014, 15, 16. And so then when these guys got a podcast, they're like, okay, what the hell? Maybe they realized
Give
they
them
got
a second chance.
Progressive. Yeah. And nope, I'm fucking done with Rolling Stone.
Well, I think they kept them on as their token progressives, because they got bought out. When did they get bought out? 2017 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and it was a mess. So, and I hate to tokenize anybody, but that's what you guys were. And people were hanging on to that just because it was Taibbi and Katie Halper. And, again, I
hate to point out to all our boomers, you might have loved Rolling Stone in the 70s and the 80s, but you know what? They've been corporatized. Everybody's goal to get on the cover of the Rolling Stone has been corporate.
Yeah, we need to take that away from them. Get the
AOC. Come on, what the hell?
On the cover of Roar Media Live. Yeah, that's what it should be. And that was good. Thank you for bringing that, and I'm sure everybody appreciated it. Blacklisted McCarthyism. That's what it's all about. We are gonna hear from Jack Dorsey. What's he up to?
Jack Dorsey's been busy this week, so he had to testify along with Zuckerberg about the bullshit they pulled by taking Trump down and blocking the Biden story.
Oh, so he's walking it back?
Oh, he walked it back, yeah. Okay. Because it's always easier to apologize than to ask permission.
Yeah, well, how about do something about it, asshole?
To Mr. Dorsey, because there have been a lot of concerns expressed recently about that unequal treatment. And I'll just start with the New York Post article. I think a lot of people have seen this. This article was censored by Twitter when it was originally sent out. This is the New York Post, which is a newspaper that goes back to 1801, founded by Alexander Hamilton. And for weeks, this very credibly sourced article right before an election about Hunter Biden was banned by Twitter. And then when you contrast that, you have this Washington Post article that was designed to misportray a conversation between President Trump and the Georgia Secretary of State. Since parts of this have been debunked, and yet this article can still be tweeted out. I want to ask Mr. Dorsey, first of all, do you recognize that there is this real concern that there's an anti-conservative bias on Twitter's behalf, and would you recognize that this has to stop if this is going to be Twitter is going to be viewed by both sides as a place where everybody's going to get a fair treatment?
Yeah, we made a total mistake with the New York Post. We corrected that within 24 hours. It was not to do with the content. It was to do with a hacked materials policy. We had an incorrect interpretation. We don't write policy according to any particular political leaning. If we find any of it, we route it out.
Yeah, right.
So regarding the Washington Post,
we will make mistakes, and our goal is to correct them as quickly as possible. And in that case, we did.
Bullshit.
We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes.
Bullshit. I mean, did you get the impression that somebody was sitting there with a 45 pointed at his head?
Why does he look like he's morphing into an evil villain?
I don't know, but he looked like, yeah. I agree, demonetizer, liar. They're all liars. Everybody in Congress is liars.
You should have heard Zuckerberg's bullshit excuses and dances. I mean, it's out there if you want to watch it.
It's just total horse shit. And anyway.
Yeah, so that's not the only thing Jack's been up to this week. He sold the first ever tweet.
The first ever tweet?
His first ever tweet he sold for $2.9 million.
Oh, this is what you're talking about in the green room.
Yeah.
All right, let's check it out.
Want to see more. Twitter founder Jack Dorsey's first ever tweet has been sold for the equivalent of $2.9 million to a Malaysia-based businessman. And if you're wondering what this nearly $3 million tweet said, it says, quote, just setting up my Twitter. With Twitter not even spelled correctly, not sure if that's how it was originally spelled, but that just makes it even funnier. The tweet was published on March 21st of 2006 and was auctioned off by Mr. Dorsey for charity. The Malaysia-based buyer, Sina Estabi, compared the purchase to buying a Mona Lisa painting.
What?
The tweet was bought with Ethereum cryptocurrency, which is the second largest after Bitcoin. Mr. Dorsey said he would convert the proceeds to Bitcoin and then donate them to the Give Directly's Africa Response Fund. And of course, the tweet was sold as a non-fungible token, or more commonly known as an NFT, on March 22nd. And for a quick refresher on what an NFT is, it's basically a unique certificate that shows that you own the original rights to any form of online media. Right now, NFTs are being used heavily in the digital art space, but since an NFT can be used for literally anything, the use of it is expanding to videos, photos, and even tweets, like we've seen here. After the sale, Mr. Estav said on Twitter, quote, "This is not just a tweet. I think years later, people will realize the true value of this tweet, like the Mona Lisa painting." And clearly a lot of people feel this way, as within minutes of the auction, bids reached more than $88,000. The buyer will receive a certificate, digitally signed and verified by Mr. Dorsey, as well as the metadata of the original tweet. NFTs have become incredibly popular over the last year, and social media experts are saying they don't predict the market will be slowing down anytime soon.
How
NFT.
much? How much?
Yeah, $2.9 million for the first ever tweet.
So this is celeb worship beyond reality, right?
Are you kidding? Who the hell's paying that kind of money? It's like the Mona Lisa. What? No.
Well, the deeper
novel, if anything.
The deeper point in this is this NFT is going to be used on all the digital media. I see that coming. We're not going to be able to use clips from anything because fair use is just going to get crushed into the ground.
Right, and they've built cryptocurrency into this NFT to where that was bought with Ethereum.
Yeah.
So he's going to convert it and then give it to charity is what he's saying. But still, that sets the standard for doing this with crypto.
I hope that our friends in independent media understand that if you start putting NFTs on your stuff, you become part of the problem. Yeah. So I'll say right now, if we ever get someplace where we think we need to copyright something, we better have a damn well good reason for doing it. Because I'm not gonna this is like any of our social any of these, Kyle Kalinske for that matter, no NFTs, because to me that's going to end up showing you to be a capitalist pig, and I can't go there. How do you feel?
People with footage, I can understand like Combo Couch being out on the ground and them getting paid for their footage because there's other phototalks out there selling footage.
That should already be covered right now,
that
though,
should
right?
be fair game, right? But as far as what we do, just analyzing things, yeah, if we have to start paying for these, fees, we won't be able to cover shit like we do.
And they could possibly use like Reface as an example. If you use the Reface and put your and the cards, when I make a card, I just go butcher somebody else's thing and make it not look like it does. Yeah, I mean I do. I can do original stuff, but I just chop up something and make it as much not look like the original as possible.
I don't know. I almost feel like anymore that the internet is turning so controlled and so mainstream that we have got to break out with our own network that is
Well,
like
we
the
have
Wild
to.
West, what we used to be, what the internet used to be.
Yeah, we do. We have to be the transparent French underground is what we're going to have to be, I guess.
Transparent as be.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that an oxymoron? I don't know. I'm the moron. But yeah, we're going to have to get permissions from people to use stuff. I understand if this is, but not news, not stuff that's in the public sphere that has a direct effect on the public good. That would be my argument. I hope the ACLU and the Southern Poverty Law Center are looking at this now because it's going to become a problem, I think.
Well, we'll take the next slide, for instance. I mean, talking about the Mona Lisa, I mean, I put our faces on here. I would have had to pay for that.
Yeah. That's the way I'm interpreting it.
That's the way I am too.
Yeah, so...
Well, we were warned. Malcolm X warned us more than 50 years ago. The media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent. And that's power because they control the minds of the masses. The press is so powerful in its image making role. It can make the criminal look like the victim and the victim look like the criminal. If you aren't careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing.
Jesus Christ. Talk about a visionary statement. That was it there. I mean, this is happening right now.
It's happening, yeah.
Right now with everything. And
look at all the asleep people that are watching MSNBC and CNN and even Fox at that.
Well, it's comfortable. They just have to turn it on, and they have their gods and goddesses, the Rachel Maddows and the Chuck Todds and the Jake Tappers and all these clowns that are paid to lie to people. Right. It's just incredible. But I think the demographics changing that quite a bit because isn't it my age and up is the ones that are hooked on this shit?
Yeah, and it's because it's been routine for you guys for so many years. As soon as we had more than 3 channels, right? Everybody kind of got sucked into their news category. Yeah, and it's been that way for 30 years, And
yeah, it's totally a hot mess. And fortunately, I don't have that problem at my age, and some of my sisters and brothers in my demographic don't, but the majority of them do. That's.
I have my own problems. Like I always have Chris Hedges playing in the background somewhere.
Oh, you are so mental. You're so mental. How are we doing in the chats? Everybody still with us, or did they split yet?
I think they're still with us.
Hey, Gamer agrees with me. Thank you, Gamer.
Hey, Gamer.
And we still, oh my God, we got 25 over at the Rockfin. Wow.
Oh my gosh, look at you guys rocking on the Rockfin. Thanks so much for joining us.
Rockfin. Yeah.
You guys are rockers.
Get your Saturday night fix of crazy and craziest. So we have, 2 of my most unfavorite people on the face of the planet.
Right, let me get over to that.
What's this all about?
It says, look, Mommy, Bernie Sanders. Don't look at him, Ricky. I don't want you to be influenced by, oh, no, Ricky, it's too late. I've seen everything. Yeah, it's too late. I've seen everything.
Oh, my God.
And that's just what it is, too. They can't drag us back to being neolibs. We've seen it. We've watched it for years now, no matter how they try to sell it or how many of our progressives they co-opt and take down.
Yeah.
AOC.
Mr. TPP and Mrs. You're never going to get single payer Medicare for all.
Oh, that's why I brought this. Okay, so I spent all Thursday in Vault 7, and I was in there looking at the Podesta creepy shit. But I came across, because, you got to do keyword searches and whatnot. I came across so many damn emails from the Dems back and forth, like Hillary for America and Correct the Record. And, one where they were giving a report on a party that they had gone to, and they said Neera Tanden tore up the dance floor. It was just fucking gross. But mostly I came away with, fuck, they hated Bernie. They hated Bernie so much. At the beginning, they weren't even scared of Bernie. They were scared of O'Malley. Most of the first, emails in the beginning of that election, they were going back and forth over O'Malley and Cruz. They thought Cruz would be the nominee. Well, they screwed that up, didn't they?
Yeah,
but
slightly.
Yeah, and that's just it. They will never, they didn't then, and they didn't in 2020, and they're not in the future ever going to let the progressives take over their party. Their number one goal is to stop progressive ideas in the Democratic Party. It's not beat the Republicans. It has nothing to do with fighting Republicans. It's about fighting the progressives.
And if you guys think otherwise, I've got some swampland in Arizona to sell you. It's all about keeping the progressives and progressive bills down. Never, ever, ever are they going to give you a universal, fully funded health care program. So go ahead and run as a Democrat and tweet your heart's desire. You're not going to make it. They're going to knock you out, because once you get in there, say you can't bring it to the floor, they won't let you bring it to the floor. So get out of these wars. Are you kidding? Military-industrial complex is paying their campaigns.
Yep.
So again, so I pulled the lever on this?
Pull the lever.
All right.
So there's a new book that was just released. The book is called Lucky, and my co-host Crystal Ball is reading it, and she's absolutely floored by some of the facts coming out of this book. It's about the Democratic primary that just happened. So Crystal says, in the new book Lucky from Amy Parnes and John Allen, they've got centrist Dems admitting that they would just as soon lose to Trump as get behind Bernie Sanders. I guess fascism and Medicare for all were equally horrifying to them. And so you could see the passage there. The highlighted portion says, many unnerved Democratic establishment centrists weren't sure what they would do if it came down to Trump and Sanders in a general election. Found it or not, their fears of losing their party to socialism competed with their fears of Trump winning a second term. Wow. So they were admitting it behind the scenes. There's another part of the book where Bill Clinton said to Tom Perez, who was the head of the DNC, your one goal is to make sure this doesn't become Bernie Sanders' party. Your one goal. Barack Obama, behind the scenes, was doing everything he could to undermine Bernie, even to the extent where he gave a speech to a diverse array of Wall Street executives, and he was talking up Elizabeth Warren to this group of people. Hillary Clinton, when it looked like Bernie was surging and was probably going to win the whole thing, Hillary Clinton was behind the scenes very seriously considering jumping back into the race, and she was calculating what the best approach would be. Like, hey, if I jump in, am I splitting that centrist vote more, which is going to help Bernie more, or would I consolidate the centrist vote and beat Bernie? So they were really, really panicked.
Would have helped
and
Bernie.
They didn't know how to react, but they viewed their one goal as beating Bernie Sanders. And I have to correct them in this book here. They're not beating quote-unquote socialism. They're beating social democracy. And by the way, that should infuriate all of you, that the Democratic Party, so many years after FDR, who was a wildly successful Democratic president, they are snubbing the New Deal Democrat legacy and era. So they are snubbing a tremendously successful president, and even, you could argue, the presidents after until Bill Clinton, the Democratic presidents after until Bill Clinton. So Lyndon Johnson, JFK, to one extent or another, they all embraced FDR's legacy. And it was with Ronald Reagan and then Bill Clinton after him where the era of big government is over. There was a time when people realized government needs to be involved in solving certain problems. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, building out the infrastructure for this entire country as FDR did, the shovel-ready projects.
I was waiting for you to tell me where to
No, I just went to look at it.
Encouraging unionization.
You want me to cut it?
So,
yeah.
The Democrats being...
It was supposed to cut it 2 minutes in.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
I don't know why. I can see the cut on it, but it just
it's not coming. Karen Daly, old news. We already know this. Kyle, their action... yes, Karen Daly.
Right.
I think the point is, and rerunning this, we're trying to get this through people's heads because so many people are in denial because of Obama.
I can change him, Mama. I can change
Obama,
him. I'll join him and I'll
Obama,
just change
and
him.
others. But this is, once again, this he articulated this is exactly what frickin' happened. We watched it unfold before our eyes. Old news. We watched it. We knew we were getting punked. You know, as soon as we won Nevada, we thought, okay, here we go, finally. And then the red phone went off. They called Klobuchar. They called Buttigieg. They offered them payoffs to screw this. And then Clyburn. Then they bribed Clyburn with his stuff, and that was the whole goal because Obama still controlling the party. Not as much Clinton and Hillary and Bill.
It's Obama, right?
It's Obama. It's Mr. TPP.
Right.
So again, Obama's like right up there in my most disgusting presidents ever.
Oh,
Can't
God.
stand the
He's just
guy.
turned into the devil. Just
He
like,
is. Talk about that knife holder in my back. The biggest knife in my back and the dullest one is Obama.
I think a lot of people think that.
Truly. So yeah, we are so with you guys on that, and we'll debate anytime you want if we feel like it. But it is old news. It's just total bullshit.
5 years. I got 5 years behind enemy lines. I can tell you.
Yeah,
he ain't
it
gonna
is.
change it.
So again, although we may support some of our sisters and brothers running as Democrats, our preference is finding other ways besides the electoral process, because it is just going to get co-opted. And my prime example, and those who like AOC, I'm not going to apologize, she's being groomed to be the next Hillary Clinton.
Oh God, yes.
She is being groomed, and I think she was set before. So AOC can take a flying leap for all I care. So
yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Al Walski. Welcome back. We missed you so much, Al. I'm glad to see you're up and moving enough to hang in there with us. Get some rest and just
we
heal
missed you,
up.
Al.
Yeah.
We missed you, Al. Welcome back.
Take it slow. Take it slow.
I'm glad you came in because I was getting ready. My head was starting to do the Linda Blair thing.
It's gonna spin.
I can't get this image out of my head. What is this?
Does Monica Lewinsky still work here? Is he naked? I'm like, no, he's got a mask on.
Oh my God. I think I've just barfed a little bit. What do we have here?
This is Valuetainment podcast. Trump dropped a big doozy saying he's going to start a platform here in a couple of months.
He's been talking about that ever since when, and I want everybody to notice the great job of refacing here. Now, this is Joe Biden's face on Donald Trump.
Scary enough, it actually is. No matter how many different angles and pictures I tried, they just look the same every time.
Yeah, they look more and more like Joe. So we had a morphed president that didn't do anything. All right, let's hear what Trumpy's got coming up.
Trump hints at launching his own social media platform, and the first subscriber is Adam Sosnick. Former President Donald Trump has teased the launch of his own social media platform, but did not provide a timeline or offer any further details regarding the potential business venture. I'm doing things having to do with putting our own platform out there that you'll be hearing about soon, Trump said on Fox News contributor Lisa Booth's debut podcast on Monday. Trump's senior advisor Jason Miller also previewed plans for the new platform over the weekend, saying that the former president would be returning to social media in probably the next 2 to 3 months after being banned from Twitter, Facebook, and other social media platforms. Trump has taken to releasing statements through his post-presidency office and political action committee in recent months. What do you think is going to happen with Trump launching his own social media platform?
Well,
Go ahead.
I know you're.
You may even have a name for it.
You're a big data guy. Well, it's not Parler. Is that not what it is?
No.
Well, I heard that the site is going to flag any statement that turns out to be true.
You're so
anything that comes out there, if it's true, they're going to flag it and be like, wow, Trump told the truth. That's crazy. So those statements will be flagged.
You are so funny.
I would like to know our good friend Jason Miller. He says we'll be returning to social media in probably in the next 2 to 3 months.
Yep.
2 to 3 months.
The media is going to be so happy. What the fuck? They've all lost viewers. Nobody has anything to tweet about. Trump will be back in like 2 to 3 months, it sounds like.
Well, do you think it's really going to be a big deal other than his established cult?
No. Yeah, it'll just be like BitChute or Parler or whatever the hell.
Yeah, and I say cult with all the love in the world because the Dems have their cult, Trump's got his cult, and they're both cult followed by cults. So, they all have cults. And
hey, I've been called a cult member many times as a Bernie Sanders supporter.
Yeah, whatever. Just don't drink the punch. What do we got here, Chanda? What is this?
How to become a zombie. Fluoride, junk food, TV, consume, never question, poor exercise, no sun, and don't read, and artificial foods.
Where's the political aspect of this? Watch MSNBS and Fox News?
Well, they're screwing you politically with every single one of those.
Yeah, I think that's good. I like that. You make a good zombie, too, by the way. Look at that, Chanda. You're so sweet. Yeah, there you go.
I still love Amber's in the background.
Yeah, Amber's in the background. She's just getting ready. She's kind of like Amber.
Like, I'm just ignoring she's a zombie.
She's a zombie. Yeah. Yeah, we have another report here.
I wish I had a cold or girlfriend. So this is the Zodiac code solved. So this is kind of a little bit on the, it's not really conspiracy, it's true crime. I love true crime and conspiracy, so that's why they kind of get pushed into one. But Zodiac code, what, that was in the 70s, early 70s, the Zodiac? Yeah. Because it stopped the year I was born. Anyways, he was out there killing people and writing ciphers and sending them to the papers. There's quite a few good movies about it out there. But they finally solved the code a couple of weeks ago on his last correspondence.
Huh.
So these are a little long, but hang in there because it tells the whole story.
All right, cool.
December 20th, 1968, two high school students named Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday are making out in a car on a dark road nicknamed Lover's Lane. Suddenly, a man appears out of nowhere and orders the love-struck teens to get out of the vehicle. Faraday gets out first, at which point he's shot and killed. Jensen makes a run for it and is shot 5 times in the back. This was the work of the Zodiac, perhaps America's most mysterious killer, a maniac still in the crosshairs of law enforcement today, and a man that just spoke again after half a decade of silence. Around 6 months after that murder, 3 newspapers received a letter, each from a person who claimed he was the killer. In the letters, the person included a cryptogram that, after being cracked, seemed to reference a book about hunting. But not about animal hunting, it was about hunting humans for sport. His victims, he wrote, would become his slave in the afterlife. This is the Zodiac speaking, would become 5 words that etched themselves into the minds of millions of Americans after more brutal murders and bewildering letters. The killer was playing with the cops. He was needling them, trolling them. So much so that he drove some investigators nearly out of their minds. And then came the unsolvable puzzle, the Zodiac's pièce de résistance, a cipher so perplexing that not even the greatest code-breaking minds in the world could solve it. Until now, anyway. It's taken 51 years to finally solve the puzzle, and it's revealed a chilling message. Okay, so first you need to know a bit more about the person known as the Zodiac Killer. It's something we've covered in detail before, so we'll give you an abridged version of this rather long and very disturbing tale. Spoiler alert, the cops never caught him. Should they have? You can tell us at the end. It's possible he started this journey as a ruthless killer with those 2 young lovers, but it's also possible the Zodiac had actually killed before. We may never know for sure, but in a letter he once claimed to have killed as many as 37 people. The police, though, have only ever definitively linked him to the killing of 5 people. In all likelihood, the Zodiac's body count was way higher, and he might have carried on killing for decades. His last letter came in 1974, and then, like a ghost, he just disappeared. That letter contained a postmark saying, "If I don't see this note in your paper, I'll do something nasty, which you know I'm capable of." He then wrote me 37 SFPD 0. Such letters infuriated the police, especially when he wrote things such as, "I like killing people because it's so much fun." For the cops, it was only a matter of time before they caught the maniac, but they were wrong, very wrong.
Chilly, it turns out it was Ted Cruz.
It was Ted Cruz.
I had to reface him into the Zodiac.
Yeah, that's you. That was kind of mean. You could have made him DB Cooper.
Hey, I'm not the first. He does look a little bit like DB Cooper.
Yeah, he does look a little bit like DB. He also looks like that mouse from Willard. So what's the deal with this Zodiac cult?
Okay, so the last correspondence that they decoded, he pretty much said he was going to go on killing people, but he's going to make it look like an accident, or that they would never know that he was killing people. So he liked to hunt people is basically what it was. And he would kill them in different ways. There was no rhyme or reason to this serial killer. You know, serial killers have MOs other than he wore that hood and glasses. He would kill in different ways. He would shoot, he would stab. I don't know. It was creepy. And it was something that even as a kid, I remember the Zodiac Killer is still out there, right?
Yeah, that was a big deal when I was youthful. I was about 10 years ahead of you on that.
Well, I saw a documentary a couple of years ago. I can't remember what it's called, but they pretty much figured out reasonably who they think it was. And the guy's dead now, but they had a lot of stuff that linked up to him. And yeah, I think even his family members after he died said, yeah, it was him.
That was him, huh? Huh, wow. So we've got another clip of this. Do I play it now?
Yeah, this is how they solved the cipher.
Okay.
puzzle. Not long after that no-show with the lawyer, the Chronicle received a new communication from the Zodiac. This time, it was a cryptogram containing 340 characters, which came to be known as Cipher 340, and it proved to be too difficult for the best minds in the world to decipher at the time. People tried for decades from the USA and across the world, but what the Zodiac Killer had created was something special, something so annoyingly difficult that after years of trying and failing, the puzzle was forgotten by most code crackers. Maybe it was meaningless, they thought, an assumption that put their frustrated minds at ease. But then in 2006, a global team of crack code breakers took a look at the impossible puzzle again. They knew it meant something, but finding the key was no easy task. It would end up taking them 14 years to finally decipher the code. That's dedication. The team included an American software developer named David Aranchak, a computer programmer from Belgium named Jarl van Eyck, and an Australian mathematician named Sam Blake. Their hard work finally brought the words of the Zodiac to the public. Eyck had actually developed software to break the codes, and he had created it specifically to crack the one made by the Zodiac. Blake's role in figuring out the cipher was to manipulate the symbols and see how they could be transposed, and Aranchak did the rest. The team said at times they'd get somewhere with the puzzle and they'd find a word, but then they discovered that what they discovered was a false positive, what they called a phantom. Then one day Aranchak announced, "This is a big one. We have a solution for the 340 and it's real." It hadn't been easy. The team had looked at hundreds of thousands of different manipulations of the text. Then on a Thursday morning at the beginning of December 2020, a variation of the text showed up in the program. Aranchak said at first sight it looked like gibberish, but it also contained the words gas chamber and the even more Zodiac-esque phrase, "Hope you're trying to catch me." That was a signature Zodiac taunt. If those phrases were actually part of the correct solution to the puzzle, what the team would have to do is apply a cipher that had been used for those words to the rest of the symbols in the cryptogram. It was complicated. They realized they had to look at the puzzle and read it in a diagonal fashion, so they took the symbol in the top left-hand corner and wrote it down. So if it was an H, they'd write H. Then they'd move down one and over to the right 2 spaces, then they'd write down that symbol, which here's a plus sign. Then they went through the entire puzzle doing this until they'd written down every symbol. What they ended up with was a completely different looking puzzle. It still looked like nonsense, of course, but now they had something new that they could put into the code-breaking software. The team was rather disappointed after that. Not only did not much of anything come up, but the terms gas chamber and hope you're trying to catch me weren't there either. It was as if they'd gone backward. But then Aranchak tried something else. He added the words they suspected were correct, gas chamber and hope you're trying to catch me, to the software as known solutions and let the program run. Presto, an English message popped up, the words of the Grandmaster Secret Code Psycho, the Zodiac himself. That wasn't me on the TV show. Was this the Zodiac telling the cops that the guy that had called in to talk to the lawyer was an imposter? Aranchak almost fell out of his chair. After 51 years, it was as if the Zodiac had risen from the grave. The team could now decrypt the first part of the puzzle, but the same method of code breaking didn't work for the other 2 parts. Since the first part was almost definitely correct, it didn't make sense that the other sections couldn't be solved in the same way. But then they hypothesized that the reason it didn't work was because the Zodiac had actually made a mistake when he designed the cipher. If that was the case, it was no wonder no one could crack it. You can't open a broken lock with a good key. The team took into consideration that he'd made some spelling mistakes. They corrected the mistakes and then used a slightly different system of moving down and to the right diagonally reading the symbols, and they discovered something amazing. It worked. The Zodiac really had made a mistake in his code. And here it is, the fully decrypted words of the Zodiac himself from a code that remained unbroken for over 50 years. He wrote, "I hope you're having lots of fun in trying to catch me." That wasn't me on the TV show, which brings up a point about me. I'm not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner, because I now have enough slaves to work for me, where everyone else has nothing when they reach paradise. So they're afraid of death. I'm not afraid, because I know that my new life will be an easy one in paradise death.
Well, gee whiz.
So he was a bad speller. He fucked his own code up, and he was collecting souls for the afterlife.
Well, that's what that's. So he was into jumble and cryptography. So and he couldn't spell.
And he couldn't spell. That's why they never could decipher it all these years. So I love the spanky eyes up there. It's one of my favorite refaces.
I absolutely do.
Oh boy.
And this brings to another PSA. We all, in social media and our everyday lives, end up having trolls. We get trolls a lot. People don't feed the trolls, right, Chanda? Don't feed the trolls because
I see a couple of them lingering through a few of our chats.
Yeah, I just got an alert that you've got some trolls, Convo Couch, and some of our friends and brothers, sisters have trolls. Don't feed the trolls, people.
We all have them.
We all have the trolls.
Do you know the greatest thing about hanging out with all the independent media last week? The first question I would ask people, do you watch your own shit back? And everybody's like, fuck no, I don't watch my own shit. Steve's like, I hate the sound of my own voice. It's like, me too.
That's shocking. They don't?
It's not shocking to me. No, they don't. I asked everybody, Convo and Slow News Day.
I watch it. I watch a lot of our stuff because I want to make sure that we are correct, or if I misspoke, or if I can make a better production. Next time.
And that was everybody's answer. It's like, well, unless I have to go back and see, what I said or what was said.
Yeah, and of course, if somebody points something out, I look at it. So. Hey, Snarky's Zoxovix. We got 27 over at the Fin, man. 27, yeah. Stick whistles over there. Hey, Rip, good to see ya. Jim, hi, Jim.
Hey,
Time
Jim.
Magazine didn't have the letters he needed. Yeah, that's
apparently not right.
Yeah, for the blogosphere. Zodiac wasn't a good speller. Yeah. Snorky. Good to see you, Snorky. Yeah, that was a good report. What do we got? We got Stoner Corner now. Are we going to get stoned?
Stoner Corner. Let's see what I got on here. Don't confuse the two, weed and dope. Only certain people will understand what this is, but for those who don't know, it's for when your butter is too hard from being in the fridge.
So what is that?
That's knife hits.
That's what?
It's called knife hits. You've never done a knife hit?
Knife hits. No, I've done pin hits before. Gosh. I have not done.
Knife hits. It's pure straight THC. You heat the knives up, you pick the weed up, and you have like a tube, like a lot of people use like a paper towel tube.
Shit, I thought pin hips were challenging, but that was using hash, I guess.
Oh man, there was many times in my life where every knife in my house had scorch marks on it.
Oh my God.
Probably if you look now, there might be even a few. It sucked when I got a ceramic stove though. I couldn't do them anymore.
Oh yeah, then you'd have to build a canal. Jesus Christ. Oh, you poor child, you.
And the other one says when you die and they bury you without checking your pockets.
Oh shit. That's permaculture at its best, I think. So thank you for the Stoner Corner report. Now you have to bring it in with this vision. Oh.
This one's just gonna piss you off. I don't give me your opinion. It hurt, if anything.
It's gonna piss me off. And
is this the one? No, I don't think this is the right one. I might have this one confused with another one. Nina Turner put out an ad today that just I didn't like it.
I saw that ad today. I saw it, and she was getting like kudos for it.
I don't know if that's this one or not. This is a different one, I think.
Yeah, can I borrow your Rising Barf bag?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You got it. Rising Barf bag.
So there was an ad done for Nina Turner by Goodnight Productions.
So this is actually from a third party called
Pretty
Goodnight
Boy
Productions.
That's absolutely amazing.
So I do want to go to this video
Ew.
that Cenk has actually referred to as maybe the best political video that he's seen in his life.
Ew.
You might think that's hyperbole, but I actually agree that this is a powerful video.
Well, sisters and brothers, this morning, I am here to say to you that my name is Nina Turner, and I'm an angry-ass black woman. I'm mad.
Their video here, their editing work, fantastic job.
Powerful. Powerful because it's true.
There's so much to be angry about right now. And Nina Turner's right to be angry. She's right to be an angry black woman. And I'm an angry black man.
I'm just happy that there's finally a video, a political video that speaks to my rage and what I feel in an unapologetic way. I'm just glad that somebody finally stepped up and said, you're damn right I'm angry and I have a right to be.
All right.
I don't disagree with anything that was said there. I don't disagree that Nina Turner is fucking badass, but it just leaves a nasty taste in my mouth.
What I do disagree with there is that TYTBS is capitalizing on the use of that thing. It's
Exactly.
they're walking back their neoliberal horse shit,
Yeah.
and they're actually platforming or pumping up Nina Turner, which I'm fine with, but the hypocrisy makes me sick.
You're right. That's what it is. It's the hypocrisy.
It's the hypocrisy there with TYT, and even David Dole. Although we watched some of his stuff, and we're not fighting with David or anything, but
I haven't been a big fan of David since last summer. When the Bernie campaign ended.
Yeah, he's
my relationship ended.
and he does a good show. But his perspective, being a Canadian and having national health care and a monthly stipend. Sorry, Dave. You're not top of my food chain. So I want people who are in the streets getting screwed here. But I'm supportive of Nina Turner because I think she's
hurts watching her do this.
Is it fair for me to say that Nina Turner is my last litmus test of somebody running as a Dem and becoming a Dem in Congress?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I love Nina. I've read her books. I've seen Nina many times in person. She's an amazing speaker. I truly do believe that she's in the fight, but many times since 2016, I've seen Nina bow to the neolibs and play the game, and I hate it. I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
It's Bernie. It's watching Bernie all over again.
I know. They're playing the game. They get in there and they think they can do something. Then they get in there and they get co-opted, and they're waiting for the right time to do something.
Right.
And
we can't force the vote.
If Nina Turner gets elected, and I hope she does, I really sincerely do. I mean, Christ, I've even got a Facebook group I started with her being the moniker of that group. I hope she does. But if she starts pulling the AOC shit, I am never, ever, ever going to trust anybody running as a Dem.
I know. That's just it. That's just it. I already don't trust the Dems.
Yeah, it's bad enough. But if they can co-opt Nina Turner, then there is no hope whatsoever.
There is no hope. Exactly. I agree.
That's where I'm at. So I hope she wins. And you just keep lathering it on here. I love this reface, by the way.
This is Jimmy. Yeah, I love this one too. Your Dead Red Redemption, right?
Yeah,
Red
that's
Dead
me, man.
Redemption.
Jimmy's beating up on who here?
Jimmy was pretty polite in this exchange.
Okay.
It's literally called force the vote.
Yeah.
Not like lick your finger and fucking put it in the wind. Like, you know what I mean?
Vanguard.
Exactly. And here comes, obviously, Mr. Jimmy Dore with his response. He says, no. Actually, the whole point of force the vote was to get a guarantee that Medicare for all would be brought up for a vote, not that it would just be introduced and then not voted on. They now have zero leverage to get it voted on. Thanks for your support, but it seems that you missed the point, which generally, from my understanding of this whole situation, is exactly correct. Just because Jaya Paul has introduced or reintroduced...
Honestly, this was remarkably polite for Jimmy Dore.
Yeah.
That's fair. Maybe he's trying to take him in good faith here because he did say he was a supporter of Force the Vote. So maybe he's trying not to be too savage. But again, from what I can understand of the situation, Jimmy Dore is very correct here in the sense that, just because this bill has been reintroduced, which I guess is better than nothing, right? It's still not necessarily going to get brought up for a vote. And that was the whole reason.
It's explicitly not going to get up for a vote.
Yeah. Again, and that was his point with Force the Vote was unless you threaten their power or their standing in Washington, then they're never going to capitulate to you. And we've said this a million times, regardless of what you think of Jimmy Dore, that is an undeniable truth.
So basically, I cut the David Dole. So David Dole tweets out, like, why aren't you guys happy with this? So at least they're doing something about them bringing the vote,
Yeah, we covered this last week. Same thing. And I like Vanguard too, but that's the point. They have they're not going to bring it to the floor. They're never going to pass a Medicare for all bill.
No,
never.
Too much big pharma, big insurance money. No, it's never going to happen.
Never. And if they ever do, I will just shut up and just go retire.
Yeah, I'll say I was
I'll
wrong
tell my
and
garden.
I'll apologize.
Exactly. That ain't going to happen, guys. I wish I could put a switch on me that would finish me, but it's not going to. They're not going to do it. They're going to roll out crumbs state by state here and there, and until we get something passed like SB 5204 in Washington State, whole Washington, and Washington can get that to happen. The other states are. I think there's some other state initiatives for universal health care.
There is around the country.
But we need to support those states, whether you live in another state or not, that are doing this stuff. And criminals like we have in our state legislature, like Annette Cleveland and Eileen Cody and all these people, they have to be recalled, voted out, because they are the donors' tools, and they're not even bringing it to the floor. So the electoral process blows, and it's not going to get you what you want, but please don't stop trying if that's what you want to do. But we need to find other ways to get through this. So
it's gaslighting.
Yeah, it's gaslighting. And like I said, David Dole's really low on my food chain anymore because it's, he just doesn't have the perspective of what we got.
He doesn't get it. He has health care, so he can tell us,
that's huge.
They're bringing
That's huge. And as far as being involved in wars, Canada, really, no. So again, David puts on a good production. He has good insights, but not high on my food chain. And I'd talk to him about it, but I don't amount to nothing. So I like this. Did you get your stimulus check?
No.
Okay.
It's Tuesday, bitch. Where's our fucking money?
Yeah. Did you see them platforming Richie Neal the other day, saying that he sent the IRS a dirty note saying they had 24 hours to make sure everybody on SSI and
crap.
Yeah, I mean, Richie Neal, one of the most corrupt Democrats, who has been, on the is he appropriations? I can't remember. He's
I don't know, but nothing has changed in the 5 days since that happened.
Nothing has changed. So they gave them an ultimatum to get the stimulus checks out to those who are on Social Security, my demographic, and those are on SSI because they haven't got it. You got your 2 weeks ago before you left?
Yeah, I got mine a long time ago. 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. The same day it was signed, the 17th, the Friday, the 17th that they signed it.
Yeah, so...
Like but, I've heard from people all over that are they need that fucking money. They've been waiting for it for 2 weeks now. They were waiting 3 months before that. And yeah, this is really hurting people who really need that money right now. And
we just hit 30 on the Rockfin.
Yeah.
Wow. So cool. Thank you guys so much. We want to support Rockfin and our sisters and brothers over on Rockfin. If you can, go over and sign up through Roar Media Live. Or, one of our other sisters and brothers. We're not greedy about it. But please follow us all because that's where we're all having to culminate now because the poop tubes are wrecking us as we speak. So, yeah, stimulus check. I expect to see that soon, but my wife still hasn't got hers original. But isn't it ironic that the last stimulus check, the one before, Trump had no problem getting it to me. What the hell?
Social Security actually got paid first.
Yeah. What the hell? Why couldn't they roll it out at the same time?
I don't know, but that's a lot of fucking interest on $30 million, right? Even if you're on it for 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, 30 million Americans. It was a hell of a lot more than that because it was 9.1.
Oh yeah. I did the math on it. It comes out to like $4.1 billion.
$4.1 billion that they're getting interest on. So again, this is the chicanery that I expect from both parties. So I will beat them both up. They're both no good. You're no good. You're no good. And we're going to slide into a local story here for California.
Oh, this is Convo Couch. If you guys haven't been watching Convo this week, you need to be watching Convo. This is my homeless report because I bring a homeless report on Saturday nights. And we talked about Echo Park, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we saw massive sweeps in Echo Park this week. Of course, Convo was on the ground for it. They've got lots of amazing footage of everything that was happening in depth, great interviews with a lot of the activists that were out there. And so they arrested, I think, right around 200 people last I heard, but it could be worse. It could be more. Yeah. And here's a little bit of footage from them that night. You can hit play. I don't know how much talking's in it.
Okay. Yep. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. So there was a line of police over there, and it looks like they moved back over to here. This is Echo Lake Park driveway, I think.
Echo Park Lake.
Echo Park driveway.
Yeah, I watched this live.
Yeah, we were here just before. We were walking this way. Echo Park Avenue and Sunset, basically. Sunset's over there. Sunset's the main street over there. So people are yelling. They're pissed off at the cops here. A lot of young people here. People in their 20s, it looks like. Millennials. I'm a fellow millennial.
Fuck you. What were they saying? Fuck you who?
Fuck you something.
Yeah, I
PD maybe? I don't know.
I would say fuck you Gavin Newsom.
Oh, that's what they were saying. Fuck you, Newsom. That's what they were saying.
Fuck you, Newsom. Yeah.
Fuck you, Newsom. Here's the address of protesters who are being detained at the Metropolitan Detention Center and Alameda Street, Los Angeles. And there's a phone number you can call and, give your thoughts
if you
to
guys
us.
want. We want to support our sisters and brothers in independent media. And we have a very sweet Ray over on the Rockfin. That's from Anna Maris, and she says, Anna Maris, thank you for being one of the greatest shows on the Rock. That's so sweet. That is really, thank you, Anna. And we appreciate those kudos. We're trying to be a little different, a little entertaining and everything else. We're trying not to do too much bullshit either, because bullshittery is not what we want to do. So that's really appreciative. Thank you. And we've got...
Yeah, the trolls were terrible that night.
Yeah, they were. That. Yeah, they were. And we have 33 over on the Rockfin. This is going to be a record night.
We're breaking a record.
Yeah,
wow, you guys are amazing.
Yeah, we have... Our record's 31, so we have broken the record over there. Thank you guys
I remember when we had nobody on Rockfin. Like, nobody would be watching us.
One of them was me.
One of them was Jilly or somebody,
Yeah, so that's really nice. We appreciate the support. And by supporting us, you support our sisters and brothers. We really, hey, Lucky Burritos over there. Fuck you.
Hey, Lucky Burrito.
Saying the fuck you, let's get this through. This is what I think they said. I think the fuck you is definitely what was needed to be said. So, and are they trying to get legislation passed to where you can't call officers names? Is that
Oh God, yeah. There's like bills all over the country right now that you can't talk shit to a cop.
Well, in honor of that, let's just do this one right here.
Yeah. We might want to turn this one up. They've been quiet lately.
Before I get started, I just want to thank the most amazing president in the entire universe.
Jesus
President
Christ.
Joe Biden. Hey, way to go, Joe. Joe, he's talking about you. You're Joe. Wait, come on, are you telling me I'm the governor? Joe, you're the president. For now, Kamala, keep it down. Hey, is that Tom Cruise? What's he doing in here? Hey, Tom
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Hey, get this other guy out of here now. Where is my army axe? Hey, was that Tom Cruise? I want to get his autograph, man. I love that guy. Sit down, Joe. Come on in. I'm giving a speech. Shut your mouth. We're out of tinfoil. Wait, Kamala. I also want to thank the most amazing house drinker in the world. House drinker Nancy Pelosi. Hey, thanks, Chuck. These peasants, they just keep voting for me. Hey, my hair and legs are starting to fall asleep. Is it nap time yet? Hang on, Joe. I'm almost done. What? Yeah, hang on, Joe. Your 12-minute work week is almost done. Shut it up, Buttercup. Kamala, I'm not going to tell you again. Quiet down. Show some respect, Kamala. You act like a teenager. Teenager? Kamala? I'm up here giving a very important speech, and you're over there laughing. Grow up. Not cool, Kamala. Yeah, cool. Hey, I haven't had my snack pack yet. I usually get a fruit roll-up or a snack pack around this time. So, relax and play with your toys, okay? Yeah, Joe, play with your Slinky and my Slinky. A couple of plays out, all right? Yeah, Joe, play with
Carmela's laughing.
That's just so damn brutal. Those guys, and those are righties. Those aren't doing that, but they just, oh God, shit.
They're funny though.
They're funny. I'd like to take a moment here to have a special bonus presentation that's not in the deck, if you don't mind. No. This is from Friday, and this was our sister Amber King up in Tacoma, and she was picketing with or protesting in front of Representative Derek Kilmer, Congressman.
My rep.
Yeah, he is a piece of shit. And I just want you to hear our lady Amber in action here. So it's Lynn Idahosa is featured with her.
I know, I love Lynn's there with her.
Yeah, let me know when you hear this.
Some of you'll remember Lynn from The Dive.
It's beyond time that everybody is covered. In the UK, women have had paid maternity leave since 1948. We have nothing.
New Zealand just covered miscarriage. We have nothing. 20% of American women experience a miscarriage and they go back to work.
They should have given it to us 40 years ago. Instead, they've been making billions while giving the people the worst healthcare in the world. They need the most. It is time to change this.
I need to read it.
Cover your people. You have a fiduciary responsibility to cover the people that put you in office. It is beyond time that America stops the for-profit health. It is beyond time.
Yay! I love it when Amber gets fired up.
Yeah, she got all that practice in D.C. She was still hot from D.C. Good job.
When we left, she still was just bubbling over, like she didn't get the energy.
Yeah, she got down, and I'd like to have her stick that megaphone in Kilmer's face and blow his head off.
Oh, he was fucking hiding. I bet you he wasn't even there.
He's the biggest pussy in Congress, that guy. I gotta
how many
tell
times
you.
I've picketed him and he hides? I mean, we've been to his fucking house and he hides.
Yeah,
right?
he is. Him and Larson, and oh god, the Washington State representatives are truly the most cowardly scumbags.
them.
They are horrible in Washington State. None of them would stand a chance with any of our ladies or gentlemen out there in a one-to-one in a fair public forum where they couldn't get
No,
to
he
comment.
fucking hides. He runs. I've point blank asked him 3 years ago why I should vote for him when his last 4 votes had been with Republicans against the wishes of his constituents. He turned beet red, and the chair of our county Dem said, "Oh, you don't have to answer that."
Yeah. Well, your chair of the county Dem should have been kicked off the.
Well, they're all
chair.
kiss asses, it's all part of the club.
Yeah.
But Derek, I've seen Derek sneak in back doors to avoid his constituents, so
Yeah.
he doesn't have to talk to them when he's coming into a town hall. That, of course, is being controlled and planned, especially now that they're online.
I would take on Cantwell, Murray, Larson, Delbeni, Kilmer. Our team would eat them alive in a public forum that they couldn't control.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I'm saying. And this is courageous women and men out there in the streets are what's going to change things, not electoral politics, unfortunately.
You heard the people honking.
Yep. One of these days, when they get bit in the ass so hard that they lose their home and health care and their families, they're gonna not be honking. They're gonna be standing there with Amber and Lynn. So that's where it's at. And I'll get off my
Yay, Amber and
soapbox.
Lynn.
Yep. Yay, Amber and Lynn. That was a special presentation.
Yeah, I saw their pictures.
From Oz. And what do we have here?
Well, apparently, if you go get a vaccination, Krispy Kreme will give you a free donut every day for this year. For this year, not for a year.
Jesus Christ. They're chumming you for... Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
You do love me a Krispy Kreme, but is it worth the job? I don't know.
I don't know. That's pretty cool. I love your reface there.
I know, everybody loves that.
God, that's great. Is that from DC? Is that what's from?
I don't know.
That's dark.
I like her tattoo though.
Dark Side, Mother May I, or whatever the hell her name is. No, that's Teen Titans. What do we? Plague has begun. Which one is this?
Yeah, so we got all kinds of plagues, but Australia is getting hit really hard. I did both these stories. I didn't realize they're in the same area. We've seen major flooding in, where is it? It's in Australia, but it's not the Gold Coast. I don't remember. It'll say in the report, but they got some rodents and they got some problems.
An absolute plague of mice is devastating Eastern Australia. Can you imagine living in a community infested by hundreds of thousands of hungry rats? That's what's happening right now in Queensland and New South Wales, Australia, where an out-of-control mouse infestation is impacting the lives of farmers, grocers, and many other citizens of the eastern Australian states. They are everywhere, hiding inside cabinets, basements, pipelines, running on the streets, destroying barns, and even worse, Everywhere they go, they leave a very unpleasant trail that makes entire streets smell horribly. Locals reported having to spend up to 6 hours a day cleaning up mice excrements in an attempt to get rid of the terrible odor. But that's not even the worst part of the problem. The rampaging mice are ruining local farmers' entire grain harvest, and according to recent reports, even hotels were forced to close because it's become impossible to keep the critters out of the rooms. Staff members of a grocery store in a small town northwest of Sydney disclosed to catch at least 600 mice every night. Steve Henry, a researcher at the Australian National Science Agency, CSIRO, told in an interview that the rat plague is probably the result of an unusually large grain harvest which drew more hungry mice to the area's farms. Meanwhile, a farmer named Alan Brown from the New South Wales city of Wagga Wagga argued in an interview with Reuters that given the incredibly rapid pace of breeding in mice, the current plague was likely just beginning, since a single breeding pair can produce a new litter every 20 days or so, birthing more than 500 offspring in a season.
Is it mice or rats, though? He said rats in the beginning, and then he was talking about mice.
Yeah, I
Either way, they suck. If you've ever dealt with rats or mice.
Yeah, I do. I do hear a little bit out in the sticks out in the studio, but if you can kind of, I've got 2 dogs that are basically mousers. My youngest one's a Kelpie.
I had to get a cat.
Yeah, and do they not have cats there? I don't know.
I don't know, but they've got another problem, not just rats. Apparently, they have a spider infestation.
Spiders
this morning went out yesterday.
Spiders? Are you kidding me?
They're eating your weed, Jillian. No, kill them.
They're eating.
At least relocate them. Yeah. They cannot eat the weed.
I just hope they don't use some sort of poison to kill these mice, because we've got so much poison in our everything. So
right. Well, it would contaminate the grain, right? They've got this huge grain harvest.
Yeah,
so it's not like they can be using pesticides, but
yeah,
I think that's the least of Australia's problems right now. A huge portion of it is under 10 feet of freaking water. They've had massive rains and flooding, and now they're going to have a problem with spiders.
Well, the flood crisis in New South Wales has prompted a warning to Sydney residents about funnel web spiders looking to move to drier ground. Joining me now is Dan Rumsey, the head of spiders and reptiles at the Australian Reptile Park. Dan, good morning to you. So what's going on, man? What's going on with all these spiders about?
Yeah, lots of rain and now obviously a few warm days, and it's obviously going to flush the spiders out a bit. In particular, the Sydney funnel webs, they'll be out and about. The males moving around looking for females as well. So, yeah, we should see a fair bit of funnel web spider activity over the next week or so.
Should we be worried about that?
Yeah, definitely. Well, look, to be honest, they're potentially one of the most dangerous spiders on the planet, not just here in Australia. So thankfully, no one's been killed by a funnel web spider in Australia for a very, very long time. But it's always good to be vigilant, teach the little ones not to play with spiders, of course, but important for the reptile park too, because we milk the spiders for the production of antivenom. So whilst it's a little bit scary having them out and about, it's also good for us too, because we'll probably see a few more come to the reptile park for our antivenom.
Now, Australia has some of the most poisonous critters in the world, right?
Yeah, apparently. I mean, spiders don't freak me out that bad. I don't like spiders.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Check your shoes. Is what I gotta say if you're living in Australia.
Anything.
These guys sound pretty deadly.
Yeah, the funnel web. Yeah, they are poisonous. They've got to milk them for anti-venom. But yeah, I'm not a spiders and snakes guy. I don't kill spiders per se. I have to admit there's been a couple been in my room, in my bed, that I've had to put away.
Oh yeah, I've had.
That's that you cross the line, Spidey, when you get that close. I just can't.
Right.
I can't handle it, especially that knee-jerk reaction to fear. Anything that bites you.
You gave yourself a death sentence.
Yeah, I just don't do it. But I don't. They're outside. I just ignore them. I mean, that live and let live, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So. Yeah, I did want to say, it's funny, we've had a couple of Australia things going on tonight, and I appreciate those reports, Chanda. We have, it's time for our dance off. Dance off time. Dance off. Okay, now we've got who did you reface there? Who is that? Is that Mr.
That's
Bean?
Mr. Bean. That's you as Mr. Bean.
Oh,
I
thank you.
think you win hands down.
Thank you very little, but I think your pelvic thrust there really outdoes Mr. Bean's, but we will leave it up. Now you have come back. Is it 2-2 or 3-2? I think it's 3-2. And Chanda has won twice. I've won 3 times, so I think. So who wins tonight, everybody? The pelvic thrust, the monster pelvic thrust, or the Mr. Bean? Yeah.
I think that's Sherry O'Terry.
Sherry O'Terry? Is she a fitness guru, or is she a
No, she's on SNL.
SNL?
Or she was on SNL.
She was on SNL. Yeah, well, your face fits pretty good on her head too. I like that.
Oh, thanks.
It looks like I got 2 votes here tonight. Karen Daly, Oz tonight.
I told you guys, Oz has got it this week.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yep, Oz definitely wins tonight.
Okay. You got it last week, and I let last week I know. So yeah. Lucky Burrito. I don't worry about the little spider. I relocate them. You know what? I would too if they're in my way. Again, Lucky Burrito. I'm agoraphobic, or not agoraphobic. Spiders have always been kind of like.
Yeah, that movie, Arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia. That was But I don't go out. I feel bad killing a fly. So that's.
I know you do. I know you do.
Yeah, I know.
It's really you.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, great dance off. Thanks, Chanda, for finding that. Yeah. Okay, now I'm getting waxed. I think. Yeah.
That was the 40-year-old virgin one.
That's Steve Carroll. 40.
When he had the Mano lantern.
Yeah, I remember that. That was good. And I have been waxed in certain situations before. But not how you might think, and I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, so what do you got here? You got a Final Destination one.
What you see versus what I see. A whole generation traumatized by one movie.
Yes.
This happened to me just yesterday. I was driving down the road. I live in the Northwest, so we always have log trucks.
Always have log trucks, and
they creep me out, man. Like, just get around it, get away from it.
Oh yeah, Joey gets nervous every time I pull up next to him. Much less getting behind one on the freeway. It's like really. Yeah. But it's the ones with the smaller logs that really bother me.
I know, because they're bouncing.
Really, guys? Are we we really gonna do this? So yeah,
I guess every region has its version of this. Because when I lived down south, I remember the sugarcane trucks. Man, they were dangerous as hell too, because they just pile them deep high, and then the wind rips half of it off, and it's all over the road.
Yeah. By the way, everybody in the Natural Progressive chat over there, you don't feed the trolls. You know who it is. So that's it. Pat, do what you wish if you want. I gotta
say, I'm a little flattered.
Yeah, it's flattered. Thank you so much, there, you troll, you, and. Anyway,
I love to live rent free in people's minds.
Just trolls, troll finger. Okay, let's move.
I love your McLovin license on this one. That's who's driving.
Oh, cool! And now we have a special video to play from our very own Steve Cutler Live. Chanda and I previewed this earlier, and it is really good. We hope you enjoy it as much as we did. Thank you, Steve, for submitting this. This is from Steve Cutler Live.
We're waiting for the sun and our song to be sung, writing down a melody of the days that have gone. Look toward tomorrow and the time moves along. You can be what you wanna be, don't wait too long. You can sing what you wanna sing, sing your song. Look for the place places and remember the faces running down the miles as we chase another smile. We look for tomorrow and the time moves along, and you can be what you wanna be, just sing your song. You can be what you wanna be, sing along. You can sing what you wanna sing, sing your song. Sing your song. Oh. Writing down our memories of the days that have gone. You look toward tomorrow and the time moves along. You can be what you wanna be, don't wait too long. You can sing what you wanna sing, sing your song. Let the morning bring what it's gonna bring. Oh, sing along. Won't you sing along?
You know,
what a soothing song. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, I love that we have folks in our follow us that they can send their music and sing on and come on. If you guys, any of you want to get featured on our little show here, please do so. And Steve, that, you know, you and Pat and Jamie and everybody who does, you guys make me feel good when you're doing your craft. You really do. And we need more people like you bringing this whole shitty world together, because music is, you know, I talked to my brother recently, and I think I even talked to you about this, Chanda. If I was going to take something with me when I go to the great beyond, it would be music. And I would certainly be taking your music with me too there, Steve. So we really do appreciate it.
We do.
And stick around. Pat's got the outgo tonight. And by the way,
Pat does have the outgo.
Pat's over in the other chat saying that was really nice. He loved it there, Steve. So Pat the Batman
Lots
fan.
of excellent feedback all over the place.
Yep. Everybody's loving it. Peace Dove loves it. Everybody. So thanks again. And if you have submissions, you know, just get in touch. roarmedialive@gmail.com. If you're a troll, I won't answer you. But anyway, it's time to move forward here.
We have trolls. We're actually getting at that.
Yeah,
level.
thank you.
We've been at this a year.
We have a troll.
Yeah, we have some trolls.
Yeah. It's just so cute.
I feel like we're big time now.
Yeah, we're big time. We're big time. We got,
big time.
What's Hollywood got now? What are they doing in Hollywood?
Okay. I've struggled with Hollywood the last couple of weeks. There really hasn't been shit that was worth talking about. But this week, they nailed it. There's quite a few. So let's get into it.
What?
This one is Madonna photoshopping her head onto other people's bodies.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, it'd be one thing if she'd claim it, but she won't even own it.
Why is she photoshopping her head on somebody else's body?
Because she's Madam Expiration Date.
Oh, my God. Okay, well, let's hear what this is all about. This is nuts. I guess
Madonna has always been a little bit strange, but now a TikTok user is claiming that Madonna may have actually photoshopped her face onto a fan's body to promote her album Rebel Heart on Instagram. Now this album was from 2015, but now the woman whose body is actually in that photo has decided to speak up. I'm gonna get into all the details in a moment, but first if you could do us a big favor and smash that like button, we'd really appreciate it.
Smash that like
Let's
button.
just dive right into today's story. So a TikTok user by the name of Amelia M. Goldie has made a claim in a now viral video that Madonna photoshopped her face onto Goldie's body. The post from 2015 was captioned, "I look cool, hashtag Rebel Heart." And as you can see from the comments, someone right away is asking why she would even do this, which is a very good question, and honestly, we're just as confused. Amelia told BuzzFeed that she initially thought it was a joke when she first saw the post and didn't take it serious at all until she realized that it was posted from Madonna's official account. Goldie told the publications, "I tried to reach out via Instagram to her team twice to no response. I would definitely laugh and say I'm flattered, but of course that I wish I was credited." So far, not even a representative for Madonna has even gotten back to any news publications running this story, but it's gotta make you wonder, who is running Madonna's Instagram account? And if someone was running it, you'd think Madonna herself would at least want to approve a post going out that's promoting her own.
Give me Madonna's phone number. She needs to call you so you can show her how to reface.
Yeah, like careful, you might end up with Madonna's face on your body.
Oh shit! You know what? I think we should find some Madonnas and put your face on it. Put my face on it
next
too.
week,
Will you?
next week.
Well, yeah, that's the fun of reface. But that's why we told you guys up front we're doing this kind of stuff. So anyway, that was great. Oh man, she probably got the idea.
I brought this next one for you.
Oh God! No!
I know how much you love Ellen.
No. So Ellen's asking for forgiveness again?
Again, for like the 5th time. Apparently she's lost 1 million viewers in the last
A million on what? On TV or on her Twitter or where?
On her show.
Oh, and she's begging for them back?
I think they're getting ready to axe her show.
Yeah, well, she needs to go. She's been on too long.
I agree.
I don't know what to say.
Oh.
I am so sad, and I am so angry.
After several speculations of running a toxic work environment, the Ellen DeGeneres show has gone through a huge downfall in their ratings and has reportedly lost over 1 million followers over time. Now, if you know anything about the show or have been keeping up with Ellen DeGeneres at all, then you would probably know that this past year was not the best. The revealing BuzzFeed article that was dropped back in July of 2020 brought to light some pretty interesting allegations. Ellen used to be one of the most beloved talk show host of all times.
Why?
At least that was how things used to be. Allow us to break it all down for you, but first be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel below.
Do you want to win a brand new iPhone or a brand new MacBook Pro? Maybe you prefer a $500 Amazon gift card. Well, comment the hidden message in this video for a chance to enter to win.
As of lately, Ellen and her talk show have been facing an immense amount of criticism lately, and the future talk of her talk show is kind of up in the air as of currently. Twitter is buzzing with lots of talk about the toxic environment that takes place behind the scenes of the show, as several former employees say that working on Ellen's show was extremely toxic and it was a pretty horrific place to work. They made a lot of allegations of discrimination, racist comments, blacklisting, and even lack of time off. Kevin T. Porter tweeted and stated, "Right now we all need a little kindness, you know, like Ellen DeGeneres always talks about. She's also notoriously one of the meanest people alive." In response to this tweet, Benjamin Simon came out and stated, "A new staff member was told every day she picks someone different to really hate on. It's not your fault, just suck it up for the day. She'll be mean to someone else the next day." They didn't believe it, but it ended up being entirely true. These tweets and the behind the scenes of the show made a very huge shock to millions of fans because it was believed that Ellen was one of the nicest people on earth. And honestly, at this point in time, to say that things are going badly for Ellen is probably an understatement, as there
she picks a whipping post every fucking day.
Yeah, there's a psychology behind that too. I believe that she's just another narcissistic Hollywood prima donna, and I've always thought that of her because I wasn't buying this stuff. And back in the day when I thought she was a little funny, it has nothing to do with her lifestyle or anything else. I think she's in the same class as Bill Maher, if not worse. They're not that funny anymore, and this exuding this personality of being nicey nice, I don't buy it. Besides, she's the one that rehabilitated George W. Bush on her show, and she's done a lot of heinous things with, not heinous, but questionable with the wrong characters in my book. So that's
well,
all.
she's very good friends with Tom Hanks and defends him a lot. And I didn't really get into it in last night's Cappy show, and I can't really talk about it here, but she's got some weird connections to her too, and things that she's worn out in public symbolistic wise, and then like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know what that was, like, bullshit, you did too know what it was.
Well, I'll go back to that last night. I mean, I made the statement, a lot of people get off on things that they're not supposed to do because they've got so much money and they think they're invincible to everything, and they are privileged to pull this shit. And there are a lot of voyeurs in that crowd too. I'll say it again.
Oh yeah. Help me, I'm poor.
Yeah. Can I revisit something here? I need an explanation. What is this reface up in the corner? I've got fishes and heads going into my reface. What is
I don't
that?
know, that's famous art.
Famous art.
Trailer park art.
Is that a raccoon on my head, or what is that?
Well,
I can't.
it's a bird's wing and a fish's tail, and I don't know.
Wow. It looks like it belongs on the cover of a Ouija board box.
It's art. You're supposed to just stare at it and appreciate it. You're not supposed to question it.
Oh, it's a conversation piece. Okay, well, let's move on to Christy Teigen.
Art.
Here you go. Here's one of your favorites.
So Christy Teigen has finally left Twitter. I cannot stand Christy Teigen, and that's because I have realized what she's been tweeting out for the last 10 years, and you realize she's a vile human being, disgusting human being, and she's finally can't take it no more. But this is Salty Cracker, far right. He's funny though.
Salty Cracker. I like that name.
Cracker.
Yeah. What is that? Saruman.
Alika deleted. That's right, my friends. We're going to do a little bit of a victory lap because we have taken one of these scumbag propagandists off the Twitter sphere. That's right, everybody's favorite, Chrissy Teigen, has hit the delete button because she can't quite handle the heat that comes with going after Trump supporters. Right? I know a lot of people already started going, what the fuck's a Chrissy Teigen? Don't worry about it. Chrissy Teigen. You don't know who Chrissy Teigen is. How'd you miss this chick? She's been a rampant lunatic yelling to 14 plus million people on Twitter, screaming about how all Donald Trump supporters are racists, insurrectionists. And I know they keep telling me that this chick is somewhat of a supermodel. I'm sitting there going, supermodel? I swear to God, this chick still looks like the dude who was going after Boromir. She looks like an Uruk-hai, my friends. I think this chick is more likely to storm Helm's Deep than a catwalk. But hey, all right, lefties, I know you guys into some kinky shit, and I don't want to be a species bigot, so maybe you into banging orcs, but Chrissy Teigen, my friends, is one of those individuals who is trying to make a name for herself on Twitter because she's a washed-up, again, supermodel apparently, and all she did was yell about Trump and Trump supporters, and now he gone. Now he gone. Without Trump, these people don't have anything to yell about. You have a whole bunch of shitheads out there who entire life revolved around responding to Donald Trump tweets. Well, now that the dude's been off of Twitter for months, they sit there going, fuck. Shit, what do I do now? What do I do now? Get a job, asshole. Get a job.
Yeah.
Alyssa Milano, she's one.
Yeah,
but, he doesn't even touch on the fact that her tweets in the past have been absolutely horrendous. She went live from her hospital bed after suffering a miscarriage. She just takes it over the line. It's just inappropriate, the things that she says and does. And this clip, the next clip, is one that I cut from last night because we were going to get a little bit more in depth with some of Tom Hanks's friends, but the show was getting a little long. So I still wanted you guys to see the shit she's been tweeting out over the years. And when you hit play, there's not going to be any sound on it because I muted the sound, but I'm going to read you guys some of her tweets from the last year, if I can see them. I'm about to Anthony Weiner this kid. Accidentally went to the child's aquarium looking pretty pedophile over here. I just saw a baby that looks like a porn star, like a trashy do anything type of porn star. A little boy in a pageant now, finally some eye candy for me.
What?
Yeah, she says this shit. She dressed her kids up like the symbols that are on the FBI fucking website, like hot dogs, chicken, blah, blah. I mean, it's just twisted. I'm going to go to jail over pizza.
What?
And that was in 2013. In 2013, I'm going to jail over pizza. Pizza. We know pizza's a code word, right?
Yeah. What the hell?
Why is she tweeting this shit out? I mean, it gets much worse. If she's taking a lot. I woke up this morning with pizza all over my chest and ranch dressing all over me. So I think I'm too good for this. You are sadly mistaken. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Seeing little girls doing the splits half naked is just, I want to put myself in jail. Hashtag toddler sardines.
What the hell is wrong with this person?
I don't care what context this is in. It's not fucking funny. It's disgusting. I'm 1,000,000% going to be a child from Toddlers and Tiaras for Halloween. Can't wait. Can we fast forward?
Why would you?
I mean, there's just so many. I can't even. If you said there was one human, you could eat flesh the rest of your life, or Chrissy, or eat turkey, I'd eat human. So she's saying, oh, I'd rather eat human than turkey.
This is from 14. This Twitter, this is really exposing some pretty twisted people out there.
Right.
You know?
I mean, and these aren't even that's just the tip of it. She has had years and years. She's been putting out these vile tweets since like 2012.
How do you take these out of context? You can't, because they're straight up tweets.
I just saw a baby that looked like a porn star, like a trashy do anything porn star. Is that wrong to think? Yeah, that's wrong to think. And it's really wrong to tweet about it.
This is Dan Harmon level.
Yes, it is Dan Harmon level. And it's that same fucking group of people.
Yeah, these Richies. Oh, wow. Wow. Crazy.
Hashtag toddler sardines. That was a terrible hashtag. I mean, the things that go along with that hashtag is like, what the hell is wrong with these people? And of course, she totes that on her wall. Oh, but isn't it pretty? It has butterflies and hearts in it. We all know that every one of those is a symbol for the P word.
I didn't know that. I'm learning.
Right. People don't see this stuff. They don't know this stuff. That's why I bring it to you guys. Like, what the fuck? I don't care what excuse she has. It's bad taste. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it is. It's twisted. So again, this is weird stuff. What do we got here?
Oh, so everybody heard about the cinnamon toast.
Yeah, I think we talked about this,
right?
didn't we? Yeah, we talked about it.
I think one of the shows talked about
Rising had this one. So Rising's the one that's going to get pushed back on this one, right? I hope they do.
It turns out that this guy's a douchebag.
Well, no surprise here.
And he's married to Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Topanga.
So it seems as though what had started as just, a fun internet meme story has quickly devolved into nasty allegations surrounding the Cinnamon Toast Crunch shrimp guy. Yeah, it turns out Topanga's husband is not as cool as we first thought, and I'm going to get into all of the details in a moment. But first, if you could please do us a big favor and smash that like button, we'd really appreciate it. With that out of the way, it's time to ruin your day. So to catch you up, earlier this week, comedian Jensen Karp, aka Topanga's husband, quickly went viral on Twitter after a bizarre exchange with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal account. Jensen posted about finding shrimp tails among other undesirable things in his cereal bag that certainly gave it more crunch than expected. In his original tweet, he writes, at CTC Squares, why are there shrimp tails in my cereal? This is not a bit. Then what really made this story take off was the wild response from the company where they said, after further investigation with our team that closely examined the image, it appears to be an accumulation of the cinnamon sugar that sometimes can occur when ingredients aren't thoroughly blended. We assure you that there is no possibility of cross-contamination with shrimp. And in response to that, Jensen said, okay, well, after further investigation with my eyes, these are cinnamon-coated shrimp tails. You weirdos. I wasn't all that mad until you now tried to gaslight me. Which is a very important word to remember right now, kids, because it will come back up in a moment. And for those of you who don't know, gaslighting someone is when you make a person question their sanity, perception of reality, or memories even. It originates from an old British play that was called Gaslight, and in that play, the husband attempts to convince his wife and others around her that she's insane by manipulating small elements of their environment and insisting that she is mistaken, remembering things incorrectly, or delusional when she points out these changes. The reason for this being important is because just days after Jensen's tweet went viral, several of his ex-girlfriends came forward to allege that he had been abusive and a creep during their relationships. The first was Melissa Stetton, who said, what you may not know about the man behind the viral posts. What, like he's a manipulative, gaslighting, narcissistic ex-boyfriend who once told me he was surprised I hadn't killed myself because my life was so worthless. Getting lots of texts from girls still in therapy over his terror. At least we have this fun little club. She then adds, look, I'm no sweetheart, I've done done and said some dumb things, dated problematic men, but to have so many women reach out with the same exact story confirms that what I dealt with wasn't because of me. It's a disturbing tactic he used to control and demean women. Another accuser by the name of Rory Uphold also writes that this is the most abusive person I have ever been with and I am crying as I type this. She then would later tweet, "Today has been humiliating in a lot of ways. I have a lot of shame around wanting approval from a predator. That's the worst part. How much it made me hate myself. And now everyone knows, so that's also awful. But at least I know I'm not alone anymore." What's worse is another woman flat out said that rejecting Jensen's uncomfortable advances led to her being told that she would never work in Hollywood again. In a tweet replying to Melissa, Stephanie writes, "My quickly deleted subtweet yesterday said, 'Oh no, I can't follow the latest viral saga because I was blocked in 2014 because I was not gracious enough after a surprise threesome, but not before I was told to be careful or I would never work in this town again.'" She then adds, "The amount of women who DM me with stories today, let alone the ones I have known about for years and talked to about or shared experiences. Oh lord." So far, Jensen has only continued to tweet about the shrimp he found in his cereal and no comment has been made regarding these new allegations. But one thing is for damn sure, he will see these tweets because even on his last post, all of the replies are just screenshots of these allegations. Plus there's even been people saying that he faked the entire incident. Just FYI, the Shrimp Tales guy is both a marketing professional and someone who's lied to my face without flinching. So
this dude's a bad dude, and everybody's toting this story, but I think he did it on purpose, and he got called out by a bunch of his exes for being a creep.
Well, again, this is what they're going to use this and weaponize this against social media. They're going to use this guy as an example, so again,
all of us,
and they could, I could turn around and be the devil's advocate and say the same thing about Chrissy Teigen. No, I can't, because that was from her personal thing. She was the one that was throwing up on herself. This guy is of questionable character. And I like this because there was a good explanation of what gaslighting is. And, I didn't start hearing about gaslighting until I think it was Jimmy talking about it a couple of years ago.
I knew about it long ago because I'm a woman who's been gaslit most of my life.
Well, yeah, but that brings to mind, there's a movie, 1982, called Death Trap, and it's got Christopher Reeve and Michael Caine in it. And I think what that movie was about was, as I remember, it was a playwright sees his latest Broadway effort being a bomb, and they basically mess with people in there. I think it's his wife or something, Christopher Reeve, and that's a good movie.
I remember that.
Yeah, there's a lot of gaslighting in that. So it
pisses me off.
Yeah, it's trying to convince you your point of view or how you're viewing things is crazy. So yeah, check it out. Death Trap, 1982. I think it's worth it. It's only got 71% on Rotten Tomatoes, but
only
7 out of 10 on IMDb. So it was good. Pat, if you have seen that, maybe you can qualify my statement a little bit. Anyway, so much for... I walked by the cereal aisle today in the store, and I asked my wife if she wanted some Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and she just glared at me. So, yeah. Well, is this from your sewing days? Is this...
It was disco, bell bottoms, jumpsuits, platform, dark tans, light hairs, hippie, peace, love, rock and roll. It was the 70s, and I loved them.
I did too. I did too. And I loved my bell bottoms. I still would probably wear them.
I hated bell bottoms.
I loved my bell bottoms.
I still hate them.
But I loved my San Francisco riding gear better. So
I did like the jumpsuits though; those were freaking cool.
Yeah, were they polyester?
Jumpsuits.
Were they Hillary blue?
Tight jumpsuits.
Hillary blue.
Dark tan. I didn't know the tanning was actually a thing in the 70s.
Oh my god! It's movie time. What do we got here?
Movie time. Okay, so this is the first half to the finale of our Autodale series. You can go to Dead Sound to see the behind the scenes stuff of how they made these, and they're a really good channel. They did some really cool stuff, so it's kind of creepy.
So this is end of part 1. There's 2 parts that we're going to be playing?
2 parts. So next week will be the end of our Autodale series.
Okay, so all right, so we've got one more Autodale after this week, right?
We do. We have the other half of this one.
All right, I'm ready to be creeped out. Let's go.
I seem to have forgotten my name. Mrs. No. I had a home, a life, a husband. The exceptional girl is what they call me. Exceptional woman. The first one to figure it all out. The atrocities, all of the lies. And they didn't like that. Don't turn around. Watch her. I remember running from my family, from my home. Everywhere. Eyes, watching, spying. There are no monsters here, sweetheart. Dreadful, heavy, metal footsteps with tinny, cheering voices. Close.
Much disturbance in my kingdom above. You, the first to finally see through the veil. You, the one who's discovered some sinister truth. You, the one who... You think you understand all the lies, all the needless atrocities. No. There is reason. And I want to show you.
He called himself the mayor.
Rotten! What did he want with you? What did he say?
The creature told me a story.
Fairy tale.
Otterdale's forbidden fairy tale, he called it. It was a story of a great inventor who, with the hand of a wilting goddess, managed to save us all from their withering world.
You are the first to discover the truth. Please, walk with me. Isolation and time come many doubts, I have brought you here for a fresh perspective. Perhaps you, Autodale's exceptional girl, can forgive unnecessary sins.
Okay, so next week we'll figure out what Autodale is. What the hell is it? We've watched what 5 or 6 of these in this series now.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
They've all been creepy as hell.
Yeah, speaking of creepy, you brought this.
Did you have scary movies when you were a kid?
We had scary everything when I was a kid.
That's right.
Do those scare you? Did those? I don't think so.
They kind of creeped me out a little bit.
Yeah, they were kind of. I think we should go back.
I
to
think HR Puff and stuff creeped me out a hell of a lot more.
Jack. I miss Jack.
Yeah.
Jack. He was.
Jack.
Yeah, we saw him last in what? Lord of the Rings, I think. No.
Oh no! Didn't I bring an update like last summer about him?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember. By the way, what are you wearing the scrubbies? The full. What do they call? What are they called?
Scrunchies. I don't know.
Defoliating skin
yeah,
loofah.
They're called puffs.
They're puffs. They're you get them at the dollar store or whatever.
That's a good idea. I could just sell a bunch of puffs together.
Yeah, I had a hell of a time just finding one of those damn things that I had when I was a kid. They were like little octopus round things you put in the shower and you stuck the soap to them. You couldn't find these many. They don't make them anymore. I don't know. They got thrown in the ocean and they're choking off sea life or something.
Everything ends up in the ocean.
Yeah, we're screwed. We're screwed. Anyway, quick another PSA. So Norway just called the United States underdeveloped. The NTNU, Norwegian University of Science and Technology, in accordance with recommendations from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the NTNU strongly recommends that all NTNU students who are outside Norway return home. This applies especially if you're staying in a country with poorly developed health services and infrastructure and or collective infrastructure. For example, the United States. The same applies if you do not have health insurance.
We're the smelly kids.
Yeah, we're the smelly kids on the planet. Shit.
We're the smelly kids.
Oh my
Nobody's
God.
allowed to play with us. We're a bad influence.
We are a bad influence. Abso-frickin-lutely. So anyway, we're at the end of the show. Thank you, everybody who's tortured themselves through watching this whole presentation. We have, oh my God, we got a couple of tips here tonight that I haven't read. Anna Maris gave us a super ray over there. How many town halls do you think will be held between now and 2024? Yeah, they won't be town halls. They'll be virtual kettling and corralling. There won't be. So that was great. And the Convo Couch. Can't wait to see you in L.A. Oh, are you coming, Amber and Crow? I think
Amber and Crow. Amber and Crow are coming.
I think they are. And then Brett McKinney gave us the super ray over there. Thank you so much, Brett. And everybody over there that supports independent media and our sister and brothers over at the Convo Couch.
Hey, thanks, Stevie. Stevie just tipped us $5.
Oh, thank you, Stevie. Thank you. And that's Stevie with Redneckonomics. And she gave us a heads up on that we're now troll bait.
Yay, I know. I'm so excited. I gotta say, I just feel like blessed, or like, oh my God, we just hit the big time. We just leveled up. I feel like we leveled up.
Yeah, we did. We're the big time now. We hit 33 tonight on the Rockfin. That's major miracle for us here, and we appreciate it. But like we said, if you can sign up through our media or one of our sisters and brothers over there on the Rockfin, just follow us all, because we are truly a family. And I want to shout out, since Combo was in the room, dropped us a super ray. Yes, we are in 100% agreement. Electoral politics is not going to fix this system. 100%. And
get your asses in the streets.
Get your asses in the streets, because
thank you, Chris Foster.
They rigged it. They rigged it. They rigged it. Hi, J9 Campbell. I didn't give you a shout out over there on the Rockfin tonight. And Chris Foster, thank you so much. Always a pleasure. This is pretty up to date here. We have some more to add, but I'm going to have to make an animated one that just runs through everybody.
Yeah, at the end of the credits.
Yeah, so if you're not on there, please email me at roarmedialive@gmail.com and say, Oz, get your shit together and get us a deal. So again, I'm behind on this stuff, and I've got a couple of thank you notes to send out to my Patreons. I will do that this week. I
know I need to get checked in with my Patreons.
Yeah, I have not been 100% this week. I had dental work done, and I got sick, and I've been feeling shitty for the last week. So
I just want you to feel better.
Yeah, I got my blood work back, and I'm really good, especially if I was a 45-year-old. So that was promising.
Hey, that is promising.
That is promising. So what are we going out with tonight, or what do we got here? What's this is we're saying bye-bye here. This is really cool, Chanda. You did this today, right?
Bye.
Yeah, and is that I'm looking into a ring in the front of somebody's house that I'm ready to knock over?
It's the doorbell camera.
Is the doorbell camera. Cool. Yeah, I like the goggles. And you are Lilu from The Fifth Element. That's really good. We're going out with our friend, our family, Pat the Batman fan. You want to give us some insight on this?
Pat does an amazing job with this. I was going through them, because we always like to feature artists, and I wasn't even paying attention. This one came on, and I was like, God damn, Pat, you did a really good job on this. So.
Yes, you did, Pat.
I'm bringing it.
You did a very nice job there, brother Pat. Do we have any announcements while I get this queued up?
I'm staying in bed all day tomorrow.
All day tomorrow. I am.
That's my announcement.
Yeah, we are going to be back this Monday night for the evening dive. I don't know what we've got going. Hopefully everything will be fine.
I know we've got some people booked for this week. I mean, there's a possibility that Kim Iverson will be joining us on Wednesday. I haven't heard it locked down, but I've heard it's happening. And then who else do we got?
Next week we have Frank from Frank Analysis and Lone Wolf. That would be Charles from Lone Wolf Podcast. That will be next the 5th. The evening dive on Monday the 5th. So we're looking forward to that. And I've got to reach out to some of our sisters and brothers. I've been playing it by ear this week. I have not been 100%. So I'm going to take it kind of easy. And let me see. Yeah, Kim Iverson, if she's... Joy is the one that was talking to Kim about having her come on Women's Wednesday. And if she does confirm, I've got a couple of questions for her that I would like one of the ladies to ask. And
you don't want to come be one of the honorary women for that?
No, I don't want to spoil that beautiful picture of all you pretty ladies in there. So... that's what we want to do. So,
well, I'll be more than happy to ask your question.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. And again, Chanda wrote the show in its entirety today, so she did.
Blame me.
She did. No, you did. You did a great job, Chanda. I think everybody enjoyed it. I want to thank you all. Again, in all of our chats, and Holly Horn, thank you, Jilly, Steve, P-Stuff, everybody. P-Stuff says, do a cleansing. Do you have any suggestions, P-Stuff? Cement, sandblaster, something. I drink dandelion tea like there's no tomorrow. My wife makes dandelion tea. She picks it and everything else. So, again, enough my stuff. Chanda, say goodnight, say goodbye. Good night. Goodbye. Thank you, everybody. And for our very own Pat the Batman fan, Mexican Radio.
a hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I turn the switch and check the number. I leave it on when in bed I slumber. I hear the rhythms of the music. I buy the product and never use it. I hear the talking of the DJ. Can't understand just what does he say. I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican, whoa, radio. I dial it in and tune the station. They talk about the U.S. inflation. I understand just a little. No comprende, it's a riddle. I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican, whoa, radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican, whoa, radio. I wish I was in Tijuana, eating barbecued iguana. I take requests on the telephone. I'm on a wavelength far from home. I feel a hot wind on my shoulder. I dial it in from south of the border. I hear the talking of the DJ. Can't understand just what does he say.